Spice Girls. They just want to be stars, and boy, are they serious about it. The Spice Girls have had #1 hits in over 30 countries, including instantly topping the mighty American charts. It just goes to show that everybody's favorite girl group have got a one-way ticket to the top. So sit back and enjoy it, as this video uses rare archive footage to trace their roller coaster journey to fame. You'll see the Spice Girls as you've never seen them before, candid and uncut, from their earliest auditions right through to them lapping up the fun in Lapland as the rest of the world toasts their success. Plus, we'll be dipping into the Spice Rack to bring you a series of amazing spice facts that will help you ponder the question that's gripping the entire nation. Who's your favorite Spice Girl? So climb aboard and join the girls on their sleigh ride to stardom. Nobody realised it back in July 1996, but an earthquake was about to rock the British record industry when 5 unknown pop starlets released their first single, Wannabe. It was an overnight sensation, knocking former Take That star Gary Barlow off the #1 spot and eventually selling well over 1.25 million copies. But that's not all. Within 9 months, the Spice Girls had hit #1 3 more times, making it a record-breaking 4 in a row. And with a best-selling album thrown in for good measure, the girls are confirmed as Britain's fastest-selling new act ever, even outpacing the Beatles.
They're brilliant, they're really good.
I
love their music.
I mean, we are an international band, so we like to get around the world and meet everyone.
I think we're going to say things anyway, so we're just going to let them sing. Oh well, we just say, never mind. We don't want to prove ourselves to anyone, we just want to have a laugh.
I think they're cool.
I think they're cool as well.
Spice Girls, I mean, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, we're quite, yeah. We are proud of all of our music. We just bring it out when we want to bring it out there, yeah. The Spice Girls are brilliant.
I love the gear they wear, it is excellent. I just got one thing to say as well. Father Christmas asked for our autograph.
I think they're blinding, you know what I mean?
By January 1997, the Spice Girls have been nominated for no less than 5 Brit Awards, including Best British Group, Best British Newcomer, Best British Single, and twice for Best Video.
Wait, let's get this Urinal shot. Who said women can't do that too?
They take the piss, really, and they're famous for it.
You want it, you gotta get it.
And in case you ever needed to wonder, yes, you've guessed it, the girls stole the show with a sizzling stage performance of Who Do You Think You Are, and winning awards for Best Single and Best Video for Wannabe. The Spices were delighted.
Hi, are you there, son? You stand up.
Spice Girls, Salt and Pepper, Eat Your Heart Out, Spice Girls, going crazy.
When it comes to the Spice Girls, everyone has got a point of view. If you ask their fans what they like about them and the music, you'll open up a spicy can of worms.
Emma and Mel C!
Yeah, the one with the hair that goes all over the place.
I like Emma and Jerry. Mel C!
I like a posh one.
Tara is the nicest.
My favourite Spice Girl is Mel C. My favourite Spice Girl is Victoria.
Jerry, Mel C.
Spice! Baby Spice!
Victoria!
When the girls went on a pre-Christmas jaunt to Lapland, the world's press went with them. Over 200 journalists, cameramen and sound engineers joined the Spice entourage.
Until I came to Finland, I wasn't sure if Santa Claus was real, but now I know he is. But it's definitely real because I pulled his beard, so I know he's definitely very real. And I met his reindeer, I met Rudolph, and we met all of his little helpers as well. Because we went to his house, he invited us to his house. But do you know, can I just say one thing? He said, what do you want for Christmas? And I said either a Gucci watch, not a Gucci watch, I said either a Cartier or a Prada suit. And he didn't give me anything. So I think I'm asking for too much. I'm not going to get a Christmas present because I was too cheeky. He said the budget wouldn't allow it. He said, look, we've gone over budget.
There's the Spice Girls, friends, going around having a good time.
But when the Spice Girls later rounded off the festivities by switching on the Christmas lights in Oxford Street, few people realised they were returning to their musical roots. For the Spice Girls' story began just a stone's throw away from Oxford Street, here at the Danceworks Studios nearby. It was at this unassuming building that girl power was born when the Spice Girls first came together in auditions in early 1994. Mel B, Victoria and Mel C were among over 400 hopefuls who responded to adverts in the stage newspaper and on billboards at stage schools up and down the country. The original adverts that the Spice Girls replied to were placed by music industry experts Chris and Bob Herbert, who ran a management company called Heart, later known as Safe Management. The ads called for singers and dancers aged 18 to 23 who were streetwise, outgoing, ambitious and dedicated. They got what they asked for. But as you can see from this rare archive footage of the girls taking their first steps to stardom at auditions, they were very different from the polished pop stars that we all adore today. Mel B, Victoria Adams and Mel C soon caught the eye of the talent hunters. It was here at Trinity Studios in Woking, Surrey that the first three Spice Girls gathered alongside this man, Ian Lee. It was here that the girls spent almost a year grooming themselves for stardom. Ian Lee worked closely with all the Spice Girls.
Well, I first met the original bunch of Spice Girls here at the studios in April '94. But the story doesn't start there, it goes back a few months earlier. It starts with a friend we had there, Chris Herbert, who was involved in management. Their organisation is just a few miles away from here. And he was talking about this vision he had of a band of 5 girls.
Good for like girl power.
And then he wanted to create this new band to fill an empty slot in the music market. And he asked us if he could use the studios here as a base to operate this new band. And we said, yeah, great, fine, that's what we're all about.
I like the Spice Girls because they're really good singers and I think all of them are really sexy.
So Chris went off and he did a lot of advertising in the stage, through notice boards in drama colleges and dance colleges, asking for young girls 18 to 23 with attitude, with dance, singing, wanted to be something, wanted to do something. And he held some auditions.
The hairstyle is similar. Yes, this mouth-watering marvel with the bare midriff is Posh Spice Victoria Adams, a prime performer even then.
So we were involved in the auditions in as much as we supplied the equipment, that's the PA system, the video cameras for just monitoring the auditions themselves. And we set it all up for Chris up in Danceworks, up in London. and there were some 100 young girls came. I think there was some 400 actually applied, so they had to do a bit of sifting out to start with. But there were some 100 girls came to these auditions.
Here's sport for thought. This is Sporty Spice Mel C, when she's still only just setting out on the road to fame. You can easily tell that this is one girl who knows what her goals are.
And they did their dance, they did their singing, they chatted, there were judges, they were all marked on their various skills and attributes. And that was in March 94.
Hell's Mel's. This is Scary Spice Mel B before she was quite so scary. But as you can see, those trademark wild locks of hair can still be seen.
The interesting thing is that Jerry couldn't make those auditions. In fact, she nearly missed the whole boat. She nearly wasn't a Spice Girl.
Sexy Spice is gorgeous redhead Jerry Halliwell from Watford. Jerry's full name is Geraldine Estelle Halliwell. Half Spanish, Jerry's mum, Anne-Marie, still has many relatives in northern Spain. Her late father, Lawrence, a car dealer, was Swedish.
When we were in Denmark, Melanie B had a reindeer steak. Do you know what? In actual fact, when we walked in, he had our music on. And he was giving it. But I just got one thing to say.
It was in this quiet street that Jerry grew up as the youngest of 5 children. Sexy Spice went to Watford Girls' Grammar School, where her bubbly personality made her a popular pupil. She might have been just a wannabe in those days, but even then, pals say she had stars in her eyes.
But Jerry then is as Jerry now, and Jerry wasn't going to miss out. And she pestered Chris and Bob Herbert and said, look, you've got to have me, you've got to see me, I'm good. And eventually they gave in, and although she missed the first round of auditions, she got through to the second round of auditions, which was the last 10. And so Jerry came in on that. So eventually the five original girls were chosen, and in April they came here to the studios to start a short-term session of working together, working on a couple of songs, just to see how they'd all bolt together, whether they would gel as individuals, because they didn't know each other. So they came here and started work together on a daily basis, working as a team, or starting to work as a team.
Posh Spice is vivacious Victoria Adams. Victoria grew up in leafy Goffs Oak in Hertfordshire. OKR. Her wealthy parents, Jackie and Tony, are electrical wholesalers.
Hello everybody out there that's watching this. I'm Victoria.
Posh Spice went to St Mary's High School in nearby Cheshunt. Victoria gets a nickname from a posh upbringing at this comfortable family home. She is the oldest of 3 children, having a younger brother, Christian, and a little sister, Louise. But there was always plenty of room in the family car. Dad Tony drove a gold Rolls Royce. It's easy to see why Victoria is now such a sophisticated 90s girl who knows how to dress to thrill.
They were here for a couple of weeks, and then they were said, right, okay girls, you've had an experience, you've worked together, you know what the sort of thing we're looking for, go away and think about it. And they had a couple of weeks off to think about it, and Chris got in touch with them and said, okay, how do you feel? Is it going to work? Do you want to get involved? Do you see a future? Because it's certain that Chris, and the same as we did here, we thought there's something different, there's something there with this girl band concept that Chris had. And the girls were asked, and they said, yeah, we're game, we enjoyed it, it was good fun, we want to work at it. So they came back on a permanent basis, and that would have been in early June 1994.
Sporty Spice's full name is Melanie Jane Chisholm. Born at Merseyside's Whiston Hospital, Mel C grew up at this street in Widnes. It was at this house where young Mel dreamed of stardom. She attended Fairfield County High School in Widnes and won a place at the exclusive Doreen Bird Dance School in Sidcup, Kent.
Yeah, we plan to do an extensive world tour.
Sporty Spice gets a nickname because, yes, you've guessed it, she's a sports whiz. She's a former star member of Rickmansworth Ladies Football Club.
They came back here every day. They were put up initially in a small guest house, boarding house in Woking during the week, and they came here every day, worked together. They worked on songs, they worked on dance routines, they had a bit of voice coaching, and they started to work as a band. And in those early days, they were looking for a name. You know, what are they going to call themselves? And one of the early ideas was the name Touch. The theory being, I think, that they were a good-looking bunch of girls. I mean, they really were attractive. And the theory being that the boys certainly would like to touch, but they couldn't. And it was a nice concept, but it wasn't dead right. It wasn't the right sort of image, because there was this feeling of attitude. I mean, you had Jerry and Mel B, who were really bubbly and outgoing, and there was an attitude there.
Scary Spice's mouth-watering Mel B, whose full name is Melanie Janine Brown. She's called Scary Spice because of her wild hair and fierce support of girl power.
Oh yeah, you've got to live in the fast lane, haven't you? Otherwise no point living.
Even as a teenager, Mel B was a mover and a shaker. At 17, she got a job as a dancer. Her mum Andrea and dad Martin soon spotted their daughter's celebrity talent. Mel B had ballet and acting lessons when she was just a budding Spice and won a place at the Intake High School in Bramley, Leeds, and later attended Leeds College of Music.
Well, you might consider that as a lecturer in the College of Music, that I might be rather snippy about the fact that the Spice Girls didn't come from a backstreet background where they were all friends together as 10-year-olds and fought their way against adversity to take the music business by storm.
I party, not night, but day and morning. Yeah, man.
This is just what Chris had in mind. 5 individuals with their own individual concepts, their own individual attitudes, their own individual presentations, but they were working as a band. They were working together for a musical presentation. Recognised a niche in the market that was following from take that boys band. They felt that a girl band was what was needed, and they advertised, got, and selected the people that they wanted, and trained them. An absolute dream. So that was the early sessions, and by the end of July, things were looking fairly good, but there was a bit of a problem.
In fact, friends and family say it was talented Michelle who decided to leave the group of her own accord after her mum, Penny, became ill, and she was also offered the chance to go back to university.
That was a sad time for a lot of people, although it was the right choice, I think. So then the next problem came in, replacing Michelle. So Chris had to work pretty quick. It's now August '94, so he had to work quick. He rustled up another audition, got together about 20 girls. Now it was a much easier task because he had 4 girls. He knew the sort of girl he was looking for.
I'm really enjoying it. I've always wanted to come and meet Father Christmas, and it's really cool.
He had the 4 right of the 5, so he needed to find that square peg to fit in the square hole.
Baby Spice is beautiful Emma Bunton. The last of the girls to join the group, blonde Emma puts the sugar into Spice. Born on January the 21st, 1976, her nickname comes from the fact that she's the youngest of the Spice Girls.
I wish everyone could be happy and peaceful with each other and get on and be friends.
She grew up with a dad, Trevor, a milkman, mum, Pauline, and younger brother, PJ, at this street in Finchley, North London, where she attended St. Teresa's Roman Catholic Primary School. She went on to win a place at London's prestigious Sylvia Young Stage School.
And 20 girls came up, they auditioned, and there was only one choice, and that was Emma. And Emma joined the band in early September '94, and she came in, and at the end of the first week, everybody was asked, does Emma fit in? And they all went, yep. And Emma was asked, do you fit in? She said, yep. And there we were, that was the final lineup of the 5 girls. And they started in earnest. They started working together really hard, every day, working on songs, working on routines, working on harmonies, working on presentations, arguing, disagreeing, the whole thing. It was just really hard work. You couldn't fault them on their dedication.
We've got an image.
Posh Spice has always been top of the class when it comes to caring for her image. Teachers at the drama college that Victoria attended remember her as being an image-conscious beauty who always made heads turn.
She was always very conscious of image, which of course is paramount to success. She trained in dance, singing and acting, but in the business, if they're going in particularly into the pop field, image is very, very important, and she took this extremely seriously. And in fact, we have image classes, and during her musical theatre image classes, she was always up in the top first or second.
And again, the question of name came up. They were always thinking about, what are we going to call ourselves? Probably something different. Because of the obvious connection between Five Girls and Take That, there was even the option of Take This as being one of the names, but that was felt to be a bit too cheesy.
Everybody knows that Sexy Spice is just great. Before becoming a Spice Girl, Jerry posed for page 3 pictures, and during a dazzling dance act at the Brit Awards, a bust almost popped out of a skin-tight dress. With curves like these, it's easy to see why.
She's always wearing red dresses.
You've got it, want it.
Jerry's Union Jack dress recommended at the Brit Awards. That was brilliant. That was excellent. I'll tell you what, my friend's trying to get one, but obviously they sell cheaper versions, but I want to get her one. It's lovely.
So they were still looking at other names. But one of the things that happened here, Tim, who's based here, Tim Hawes, he was playing around with some ideas on songs, and he said to the girls one day, I've got an idea for a song for you. And the song I've called Sugar and Spice.
Milk Spice, Sporty Spice, Emma, Baby Spice, Jerry, Ginger Spice, Bobby, Scary Spice, Vicky, Fast Spice.
And he played it through, and the girls came up here into the studio, into the MIDI studio, and they went through a few ideas. Tim had the verse, and he had the song down. He hadn't quite sorted out the chorus, and the girls worked out the chorus for Sugar and Spice, and it worked quite well. It's a nice song, it's a good song, very Spice Girls sort of song, and it was a good experience for the girls to go through that process, probably their first experience in songwriting.
I mean, we've got a lot of places to see, a lot of people to say thank you to. I mean, we are an international band, so we like to get around the world and meet everyone. I know you don't get tired because it's exciting every day, and it's wickeder.
The subject came up about a name. What are we going to call ourselves? And Tim said, well, there's the song, Sugar and Spice. And you're a spicy bunch, you're good-looking girls and quite spicy and frisky. Why don't you call yourself Spice? And they said, yeah, that's a good name. So Spice was born, and that would have been about September, October 94.
As a schoolgirl, Baby Spice Emma always had a smile on her face. Her old headmaster reckoned she was top of the tots when it came to getting on with all her classmates.
She was always a bright little girl. Of course, she was bubbly and bright, and always had a smile on her face, as I think you will see today. And she enjoyed her school life, and she was a good, intelligent girl, and got on very well with all the other little children, big children, and the staff as well while she was here.
They did lots of little displays and presentations which went down really well. They did a jingle for us. We were doing a jingle for a company that we were doing work with. They do a lot of audio tapes, and they wanted just a little jingle to start to top and tail the audio tapes.
I think we need more girl bands actually. Yeah, so we can be in them. Yeah, so we can have a job.
And I wrote a little jingle, very simple, and we just thought it would be great just to have some vocal backing on it. And we worked with the girls for a couple of hours one day, and they did the vocal backing on this jingle. And that was probably their first recording that they actually did as a group.
Whoever your favourite Spice Girl is, one thing's for sure, the one with the most Specs appeal is mouth-watering Mel B. That's Specs spelled S-P-E-C-S. The Mel B looks so great in glasses that she's made chunky frames fashionable all over again.
I don't like Mel B's new glasses. No, they're horrible. They were square.
And in March, Scary Spice was named as Britain's best-looking female spectacle wearer of 1997.
So now in September 94, we've got the line-up. We've got Emma, the two Melanies, Jerry and Victoria. They're now living in a house in Maidenhead. It's a house that Chris Herbert has rented to put the girls together, because they're now not just working together, they're living together. They've got to be as one.
I can remember girls coming and going, but I saw they were just quiet girls, kept themselves to themselves, and never bothered anyone. We never had any problems with them, and that's it really. They moved out after that.
They're working a daily routine. A typical day would be they would arrive here. Jerry was the only one who had a car, if I remember rightly, and they'd all arrive in Jerry's little car at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's about half an hour drive from Maidenhead to here, and they would come in straight into the dance studio, and they'd run through warm-up exercises, go through vocal exercises, have a general hour of warming up.
Sure, blimey, Baby Spice nearly ended up in EastEnders. Emma auditioned for the part of Bianca before actress Patsy Palmer was cast as the Albert Square redhead.
And then they'd start working on dance routine, vocal harmonies, trying out another idea with a song. They were working on 3 or 4 songs at the time, and it was really starting to come together. I mean, we were all saying, this is good. There's something there. It was just the way they were working together, but they were still 5 individuals. When it came to lunch times, in the early days, they used to go down to Sainsbury's, which is just down the road, about half a mile, into the coffee shop. And they were fairly careful what they ate. And one day, I think they wanted toast and Marmite, but no butter. Well, Sainsbury's couldn't do it without butter or something. And so they decided they would look for something else. And they found a little coffee shop up in the village, up in Knaphill village, which was very friendly, local people, little community project, and they would do anything. You could have it with butter, without butter, butter on its own, it didn't matter. And they became fairly regular customers up at the King's House coffee shop, where they could eat what they wanted. Afternoon they come back, carry on with their rehearsing, running through ideas. They used to call us in sometimes, Tim or myself, come and say, hey, have a look at this. And they'd run through a routine and say, how do you think? Is that good? Or, what about something else? And we would just, pass a comment and say, yeah, it's good, or why not try this? And this used to happen all the time. We would just sort of be working together on a sort of casual basis.
Posh Spice was a hit even at school. Her old primary school teacher says she was kind and thoughtful, and her mum Jackie would always help out.
I first knew Victoria about 12 years ago or more, when she was a pupil at this school. She was a very sweet girl, always kind and thoughtful, and she had a lovely family. I can remember her family and her mum helping at school. They were very supportive parents.
I was right now. My favourite Spice Girl is Victoria.
Sometimes they'd 3 o'clock, they go, no, we've had enough, it's not working. It's not working right. They'd have an argument or a disagreement about something, and they'd go home.
My favourite album is the debut one.
Sometimes they'd work till 7, 8 o'clock at night, still working on the same routine, just keep going over and over again over the same routine till they got it absolutely right.
Even as a small child, Baby Spice was a cover girl. She was a child model who appeared in clothes catalogues and played the Milky Bar Kid's girlfriend in adverts. Staff at the modelling agency that Emma was signed to remember her well.
Emma was one of our most popular models She was asked for by our clients time and time again. She did a lot of Mothercare shoots, and also I think she was in the Woman Zone, and also she did an Outspan advert, which I think was on posters, there was a little bit of controversy about that one, which had to be withdrawn.
It wasn't all fun and games. There were sometimes fairly heavy disagreements. They'd argue over a particular routine, or who should sing what, or whether somebody was singing the right note or the right harmony, and it did get quite steamy at times. But it never lasted. They'd just go home, or they'd go to have a cup of tea, and then they'd come back and be the best of friends again and just carry on.
Being a Spice Girl is nice work if you can get it. Whilst the Spice Girls have been playing in the snow, their earnings have been snowballing too. Girl Power has amassed an estimated £3.2 million for every Spice Girl, and that's no joke.
I don't think any different from any working environment, working team. There would be disagreements, but they make it up and carry on. The job, the target was important, where they were going. Occasionally we used to go up to the pub. There's a little pub on the corner called the Garibaldi. Very typical English pub, small, friendly. The landlord's known to everybody, as Vince.
Yeah, they come in here a few times. Sometimes there was only two of them when the others were down the shops.
He knows nearly everybody's name. And we pop up there and have a sandwich, a beer, glass of lemonade, whatever. And it was just another place for the girls to go lunchtimes or during the afternoons just for a break. Yeah, it was a very long, hard day, most days, and the girls used to go home in the evening and often used to work at home at the house in Maidenhead and come back in the morning and say, well, we've worked out an idea, we want to try it out. So it was a lot of hard work. It was a long working day and a long working week. And weekends, they even worked some weekends back at the house, but they did go home.
Posh Spice was fashion conscious even as a kid. Victoria wears sophisticated designer labels today, but in those days she wore Frosty the Snowman outfits made by her mum.
Victoria always loved acting. She enjoyed drama lessons when we'd improvise and do role play. She liked to sing and dance, and she shone as Frosty the Snowman, which she did when she was about 7. But when she was the Pied Piper, she was in her element. She was happy, and she sang, and she looked absolutely gorgeous in her beautiful costume her mum made for her, especially. I think her mum still got it anyway.
The girls did sometimes go back to their own homes, not always together. Some used to stay at the house on their own, the others used to go home and see the parents. Sometimes they used to go out together, go out to a club or just have a bit of social fun, but most of the time it was just work, and the time flew by.
Don't be deceived by Emma's baby doll figure and candy floss looks. This chic chick is a blue belt at karate who's capable of kicking her way to the top.
Her mother was a member of the Parents Association and always gave her time here, and for a while did an afternoon class of karate, or one of those Japanese arts, and was always a great help. And even last summer she came back, the mother came back to do line dancing during our fair, and Emma was with her and taking part in the line dancing.
Some weeks later, the main highlight after that was this showcase. Chris had arranged a showcase up in London at Noma Studios, and that was for songwriters in particular to come along, look at the girls who were going to run through their routines, and to get some ideas about songs.
My favourite song is If You Can't Dance on the CD. It's brilliant.
Yeah, mine's Super Come On.
Super Come On, right, that's okay.
Super Come On. Yeah, Wannabe is good. That's the best, I think.
No, I like Who Do You Think You Are? Who Do You Think You Are? That's really good.
What sort of songs, what inspired the songwriters seeing these 5 girls And that was a super day. It was absolutely excellent.
My favourite song is If You Can't Dance on the CD.
I mean, Tim and I went up there, Chris, Bob, we were all there, and a proud moment for us. I tell you, we felt really proud. The girls did absolutely excellently.
Who do you think you are? That's really good.
Scary Spice certainly lives up to her name when it comes to her choice in jewellery. Gorgeous Mel B has got a pierced tongue, making her a studded star.
Yeah, the one with the hair that goes all over the place. Mel B.
They presented the show well, and they talked well. It was, the Spice Girls were there. They were very confident, they were fun, they were talking to the songwriters, and giving over very good vibes. That was really a good day. That was in December, early December of '94. Very happy memories of that day.
If you think Jerry is a great mover, you'd be right. After leaving school with an A-level in English literature, Sexy Spice studied tourism at college before getting a job as a dancer in Magaluf.
Christmas was looming. The first Christmas as Spice, as they were being called then, and they were all talking about what they were going to be doing over Christmas. And it came to the 23rd of December. It was the last working day. And we suddenly realised that nobody was taking the girls out for Christmas lunch.
I'm not going to get a Christmas present because I was too cheeky.
And so Tim and I took them up to the good old Gary, the Garibaldi, and we said, come on, we'll go up there and we'll have a drink and we'll have something to eat and have a little Christmas bun fight. And it was great. We went up there, spent a couple of hours up there, had a really good time.
Well, the first time I actually saw them was on 2 days before Christmas in 1994. And they was having a good time. They was being, when they come from recording studios down in Trinity Road.
We were chatting away and talking about the songs and the future and their aspirations. And they were saying, oh, you know, it'd be really nice to make Top of the Pops one day. And to get into the music magazines. And they started singing. They actually started singing one of their songs, totally unaccompanied, and the pub went quiet.
On that Christmas, they were really having a good giggle. They looked really good.
As these 5 girls sang one of the songs. It was really great. It was just a really fun event. Applause came from around the pub, very small pub, but the applause came over them. So if anybody was in that pub on the 23rd of December 1994, hearing some girls singing, that was the Spice Girls. Great day.
Yes, you wouldn't believe this, but everybody else in the world has seen them on television, and I've never seen them perform. But if they perform as well as they did here, they must be brilliant.
They're a group that me and my mum can dance along to together.
Monday mornings were exciting. The girls would come back from the weekend, whatever they've been doing, and we used to sit down at coffee and they used to say what they've been up to. Vicky would say about home, roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, about the family. Mel C would talk about football, whatever was going on in the football scene.
Yeah, my favourite Spice Girl is Mel C. She's into football, she supports Liverpool as well, which is great.
Emma, talk about maybe going on with Mum.
The Spice Girls are so good. Everyone says I look like Emma, but I don't know, I don't think so.
It was just a nice Monday morning where everybody would catch up on the gossip of what was going on. I mean, they were just a nice bunch of girls.
Nelson, Emma, Jerry, Victoria.
My son he was 3, only a little fella, and he could never remember their names, but he always remembered the one who has a hat on backwards, and that was Jerry, because Jerry used to wear a baseball cap backwards. Not unusual.
I like Jerry because he's got all the fashionable hair.
And the other one was the girl who wore her hat the right way around, and that was Emma. And Emma always used to give him a cuddle when he came in, and he was quite taken by Emma. I think that's his first love affair.
My favourite Spice Girl is Emma Spice.
But they were just a nice bunch of girls. They gelled together superbly as a band. They worked well, no doubt about it, they worked well together.
And they're really, really good. We love them. They're on tour, we couldn't get a ticket to their concert, we were so disappointed, but you know.
From early days, we knew there was star quality. that there was a future there somewhere. We never imagined it would be quite as big, because, or maybe when you get a bit older, you don't have such high aspirations, but we knew they were going to make it.
For the Spice Girls, winning awards is as easy as sliding down a slope. Prior to winning their Brit Awards, the girls were also honoured at the Smash Hit Awards. In fact, you could say they're gonged with the wind.
They worked very hard. It was a long, hard day. And even when they used to take a coffee break, you would still hear somebody singing in the loo, or you'd hear somebody doing a dance routine in one of the other studios while maybe two of them were making a cup of coffee. It never seemed to stop.
Sporty Spice, Mel C, has got a nose for stardom, literally. Not to be outdone by Mel B and a pierced tongue, Mel C wears an earring through a hooter. If you look closely, it's as plain as the nose on your face.
But it paid dividends, because at the end of the day, by December of '94, within just a couple of months, you had a really professional, tight band that just showed professionalism and shouted success. And it was that didn't come easy. They had to work really hard to get that standard.
Posh Spice made a splash at school by being one of the only pupils whose family had their own swimming pool. But Victoria was always willing to take the plunge and share it with friends.
Victoria had a swimming pool, and her mum and dad were very generous. They shared with all the children, used to go around and have swims. They were great friends to everybody.
One amusing little story is that they're not supposed to take drinks into the dance studio. And I went in one day and somebody had knocked over a cup of chocolate, I think it was, onto the floor. They hadn't noticed it, obviously. And I said to them, "Oh, come on girls, you know you're not supposed to put drinks in here." And they said, "Oh, ever so sorry, we'll clear it up." And they stood up from a chair to go and clear it up, and they knocked over a cup of tea. We actually had quite a laugh about that, but needless to say, now there's a strict rule about drinks in the dance studio. We still go down to the Garibaldi and use that as our little meeting place. And in fact, I was down there today with one of the girls from the Nice Girls, a 5-piece band that we're working on, like a cabaret act. So we still use the Garibaldi as our watering hole.
Scary Spice has always been a fantastic looker. When she was a teenager, Mel B entered a beauty contest, and the judges were so impressed that she won a trip to Paris.
I like her Kepso, the tiger skin one, that's great.
We're in a situation now where we've unfortunately been evicted from this historical event building, and we've now got to find other premises to carry on the work to find the next Spice Girls.
Each one's got their own type of image, so the clothes suit them just right, spot on.
We're now into 1995, January, and things are looking really good. And Chris has done a lot of work promoting the girls, and they get time working with songwriters in other studios, and they're working even harder. They've got real motivation now. I mean, we thought they were motivated before, but now they're really going.
Basically, what I like about them is that they're 5 girls getting up there, they're having a laugh, they're not depressing.
The enthusiasm, the excitement, fun, the enjoyment is just immense. This goes on for weeks and weeks. We know something's going to happen. You know, it is going to happen.
They're just a fab package for people to see.
But things were about to suddenly accelerate, according to Spice folklore. The girls were determined to do it their way.
Just a good laugh. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think people should take them deadly serious and get all hung up about them. I just think they're a good laugh.
But whatever did or didn't happen, behind closed doors, the girls soon found themselves under the wing of Simon Fuller, manager of Annie Lennox. A deal with Virgin Records followed. When Wannabe was released in July 1996, the whole pop world stood up and listened.
They were good days. I'm proud of them, and they weren't mine. Good days.
Nice and down to earth like all the normal people and that.
In the early days, people used to say, are they going to make it? Are they going to be big? And you had to answer, I don't know, because you don't know. now people are saying, are they going to last? And the answer is, I don't know. I hope they do. They're a nice bunch of girls. They worked hard for it, they deserve it.
I want to say a big thank you to everybody out there who's helped support the Spice Girls.
I think my wish is probably not going to happen, don't think.
Which I really, really want. I want to be happy.
I wish everyone could be happy and peaceful with each other and get on and be friends.
And I want 4 of the other girls to be happy, and I want my family to be happy.
Everything we do, we like to have a lot of input on it, because at the end of the day, Spice Girls are Spice Girls, we're being ourselves, so if we don't want to do something, or if we want to do something, then we have complete control.
I think they're blinding, you know what I mean? They're good for the public, you know what I mean? They speak their minds, they do what they want to do, you know what I mean? They don't give a...
I think they're pretty cool.
Whatever the future holds, one thing is for certain. From ordinary roots to superstars, the Spice Girls have already won a place in the history of pop as one of the best young bands ever to come out of Britain.
And stay tuned, we are here forever, so stick around.